The Jamie Dyer Show.
So your name is Nigel Mundy, is that right?
Yeah, M-U-N-D-Y.
Yeah, N-U-N-D-Y. And you are, what relation, I'm recording, what relation of Pagham Ponies are you?
Well, I'm the founder, basically.
You're the founder?
I started it, yeah.
Yeah, how did that come about?
Well, that could be a long story, but I'll keep it as short as I can. About 11 years ago, my son's girlfriend had a horse, and he was taking riding lessons, and I thought I would take riding lessons so I could go out with him. And I went to the stables where he kept his horse and asked for riding lessons, and they said to me that they couldn't oblige because they didn't have a horse big enough for me, because I'm quite a big fella. So that left, and then approximately a year later, he phoned me while I was at work and said, "Do you still want a big horse?" And I said, well, I didn't actually want a big horse, I wanted to ride a big horse. Yeah. So he said, well, you better come and have a look at the one that's just been brought in by the OSPCA. So on my way home from work, I went round to those stables and asked the girl in charge where the horse was, and said that she was in the wash box because the stalls were not big enough for her. You know, this must be a big horse. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can, yes, just about.
So I went in the wash box, and there's this huge shadow that the lights weren't working properly. So a big red rug wrapped right around its body, and its head down in proximity of the floor. And I said to the girl, "Can I take the rug off?" And you'll have to excuse me because I get a bit emotional with this. She said, "Yeah, but be prepared." And I took the rug off the horse, and, well, to be honest, I cried. Mm-hmm. He was in such an emaciated state. He'd been abandoned, no food, no water, and she was on the verge. 2 more days, she was probably dead. The OSPCA found her. They brought her in, and I stood there with her. You could actually get your fingers between her. And couldn't hold her head up properly because the neck was so thin.
Yeah.
And I said to the girl, "What happens to her now?" She said, "Well, we keep her for approximately start her rehabilitation, and then she will either stay here as a riding horse or someone can adopt her." And while she was talking, the horse lifted her head and looked me in the eye. Mm-hmm. And I'm afraid I was smitten. I said, "Right, I'm going to adopt her." So I contacted the OSPCA the following day and put in the adoption papers and adopted her, and I moved her from there to the stable she's in now, and I've done her rehabilitation, and she triggered off in me the need to help her. I always loved animals, but never usually been dogs, cats, or whatever. But after meeting Ebony, which is her name, and getting to know her and understand how gentle and forgiving these animals are, it just escalated from there. Originally, I was here with another woman who used to rent 2 of the stables. She left under a cloud from the owners, and I asked the owners if I could take over the renting of the whole yard, which they allowed, and that allowed me then the capacity to look for or take in other horses that needed help, really, and that's what's happened. And over the last 10 years, I've accumulated, if you like, 11 from all different situations, all bad situations, but but now they're all, they all live together and all happy and contented and well fed, and everyone who sees them loves them, and that's how I got into it.
Yeah, well, I have heard a lot about your organisation. Obviously, day to day, what is it that you do? You look after the 11 horses that you've got, is that right? I mean, do you take any new ones in if you find them?
I haven't. What happened is about 5 years ago, the man who used to own it sold the property and surrounding fields.
Right.
And at that point in time, he wanted me off. He tried desperately to get me off of the yard. And I said to him, if you can find someone for the horses, then I'll go. Otherwise, I'm not moving. And as luck would have it, the new people that bought the place wanted me to stay. So, hence the reason I'm still here.
Yeah.
I can't have any more. There just isn't the room. I mean, believe you me, if I had the money and the room, I'd have a lot more. So what basically I do is take care of these. A lot of them, people say to me, why don't you rehome them? But the problem is in my head is that I always have the feeling that they will go back somewhere where they will have to, end up being treated as they were before.
Yes.
Because, to be brutally honest, I don't trust people, especially with these lives. Because I've met so many what I call horsey people over the years, and I've found that not all, but a vast majority of them only have a horse for what the horse can do for them, not what they can do for the horse.
Yes. Hence
the reason I've got these. You get some people have a horse, and if it doesn't jump high enough, they just get rid of it. If it's not doing what it's supposed to do for them, then it's no good to them. So, but the way I look at them is they are so similar in their nature and attitude to a dog that if you have a horse, you should commit to it, and it's a horse is for life, not just for Christmas, basically.
Yeah, I completely get that. I mean, if people wanted to help you in some way with this, how would they go about? Can they volunteer, or is there somewhere that they can give?
I get numerous volunteers because that's always going out in different ways. Unfortunately, I have a very small few volunteers that do stick to it. They come up, and there's one in particular, she comes up every single day without fail, and she's very good at what she does. But it takes more than one, if you understand what I mean.
Yeah.
And the problem is that a lot of the volunteers are fair weather volunteers. Mm-hmm. If it's pouring hard with rain or snowing or freezing, they don't get out of the bed. They don't think that the horse
needs anything.
It's not that way inclined, if you understand what I mean. Whereas I am, see, Christmas Day and Boxing Day and my birthday and any bank holiday, it's just a day to the horse, so I have to treat it as such. So, I'm here no matter what weather, whatever. And that's the sort of volunteer I want, someone who's prepared to commit to, just taking care of the animals. I'm not, what I do every day is I get up here early in the morning and I feed them, make sure they get water and make sure they got hay, and then sometimes I'll go off and do something else, and then come back in the afternoon, and then I get cleaned out, and whatever. I do the same. It's basically the same.
Yes. If people wanted to find out more about it, where would they need to go?
Hey?
If people wanted...
Where they need to go, what they need to do is to phone me, really. And then it's in Pagham, it's based in Pagham. If they phone me and say they want to come up and then see if they want to volunteer, because I invite people to do that, then I will tell them where it is and they can come up. I try to keep it fairly low-key, the location, simply because to protect these ponies. Up until just over a year ago, about 18 months ago, nobody knew they were here even. Even people who lived in Pagham for 25, 30 years didn't know they were here.
No.
Just that it got to the point where I retired and money was tight, and it was getting more difficult for me doing certain things that I put out for volunteers. So it's only over the last couple of years that I've allowed people to know where they are, if you like. But now I need to let more people know where they are, simply because I want them to thrive, you know. I want them to survive and be looked after.
Yeah, completely understandable, and we'll help you to do that. Thank you so much, Nigel, for coming on today and talking to me about this, because I've heard a lot about Pagham Ponies, but it's been nice to actually talk to you about the meaning behind it.
Yeah, well, that's all it is. It's to give these animals a decent life, really. I mean, my biggest fear at the moment is the fact that they're on about building on this area. I'm just hoping that they don't get permission. I know that sounds a bit harsh, but, you know, it's all right building homes for thousands more people, but what about their home, you know?
Yes.
They need a home as well.
Definitely.
And none of the developers have said, oh, well, you know, we'll section off a piece and you can have it as a filter for horses, because they are part of the community regardless of what anyone says. So many people know them now, and so many people see them. I'll take the little ones. I've got some miniature Shetlands, which I take to little events during the year to raise funds, and people absolutely adore them, you know. And they adore people. They're really good with people. So they're all part of the community, so they should be considered as such, really.
Well, yes, I hope that you manage to not stop the redevelopment on that land, but hopefully they'll see a way of purposing it for the right reasons.
Well, yeah, I hope so. You know, we've just got to wait and see, really.
Yes. Well, Nigel, thank you very much for talking to me today, and all the best with Pagham Ponies. It's a great organisation that I've heard about for a long time, and it's.
Well, you're more than welcome to come over and meet them if you want.
Yes, I would love to.
Okay, fine. Thank you very much.
Yep, no worries. I'll be in touch.
All right, bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye. Thank you.
The Jamie Dyer Show.